sports. The scoreboard doesn't tell the full story, but Netflix does. Stories about dads who happen to be world-class quarterbacks and a battle for the heart, soul, and direction of the multi-billion-dollar business of F1. Whether you're a diehard fan or you're brand new, Netflix has the stories for every type of fan. You can watch these incredible sports stories like Quarterback, F1 Drive to Survive, Untold, and many more now on Netflix.
The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
Welcome to the Morgan Man Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Stacy Cole Morgan. Here on the Morgan Man Sports Podcast, we talk Atlanta Falcons news, pre-game predictions, and all other news surrounding the Atlanta Falcons.
Touchdown, Atlanta!
Also on the podcast, we talk Call of Duty League, esports, covering Roster Mania, major predictions, COD champs, player trades, and much more to get you ready for every single CDL weekend.
Stuff goes through, and Stuff snaps, wins the one-on-one, and Optic with the reverse sweep.
If that sounds good with you, put on your Falcons jersey, grab your gaming headset, and let's get this show started. What is going on, you guys? I'm your host, Stacy Cole Morgan, and you are listening to the Morgan Man Sports Podcast here on Spotify, Google Podcasts, GoodPod HQ, or wherever you find your preferred podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are talking nothing but Atlanta Falcons, Minnesota Vikings recap, and this Sunday's preview going into this Arizona Cardinals game. And guys, let me tell you, it's just been one hell of a roller coaster season already. And we're fixing to be 10 games in, okay? We're not going to talk about Call of Duty League today because now we know the season's going to start pretty much next month. So we're fine on that. Really no new information is going to come out unless some other teams report like roster signings, and I'll put that on like TikTok or my Twitter account. But we're just going to talk about the Atlanta Falcons today. So the Atlanta Falcons was favored by minus 3.5 points at home against a Minnesota Vikings team who had Joshua Dobbs, getting off a plane this past Sunday from just 3 days ago. So from this past Sunday, 3 days ago from then, just literally got off the plane. Don't even know the players' names, let alone the freaking playbook. And he scores total 3 touchdowns, 2 receiving, and 1 rushing. Now you tell me, why does a guy like that come into a team and wins the freaking game against a Falcons team that should be well-rounded offensively and defensively? I will get on the defense today. You tell me, like, what is the problem there? We made Joshua Dobbs look like fucking Tom Brady in this game. So let's go ahead and just bring the blame everywhere. Now, granted, we are without Grady Jarrett, our leading, tackler. But guys, Calais Campbell is a veteran, and I can't put too much blame on Calais Campbell because he did score us some points with that safety, and I believe it was against Joshua Dobbs right there. So at least Calais Campbell, is living up to his contract. Okay, but other than that, we made Dobbs look like fucking Tom Brady out there. We literally did. We made that entire offense just look like they are Super Bowl caliber ready to go one-on-one with the frickin' Kansas City Chiefs. But that's just not the case. Now go to special teams. We did all right. Special teams did what special teams does, is try to get you good field position. But now the offense. Guys, we have skill position players We've drafted skill position players 3 years in a row under head coach Arthur Smith / the offense coordinator. Kyle Pitts, Drake London the following year. This past year, Bijan Robertson. You're not utilizing your star skill position players. You're just not. And for you to be in the so-called mastermind of offenses, of all offenses, I should say, we're 4-5. We're 4-5. We're not putting up points. Yes, this is the most I believe we have scored all season. I could go back through old games right now. See, yeah, 28, 23, 16, 21. Yes, this is the most we've scored all season. The second best was against the Green Bay Packers, and that was a W right there. We're 4-5 in our division, second place behind the New Orleans Saints, who just had a somewhat okay win against the Chicago Bears. And we got them in 2 weeks after this Arizona Cardinals game, because next week is a bye week, thank God. And then after that, we're at home against the Saints, so that does help us just right there a little bit. But I fear that we're losing our fans because of how mediocre this offense is. The Falcons can never have both a great offense and a great defense. It's one or the other. So for 1 year, us Falcons fans would just really enjoy to have both great offense and great defense to make us to the playoffs, make it to the Super Bowl, and possibly win the damn thing. But that's just never going to happen. And especially with it being Arthur Smith. Terry Fontenot, he's doing great. He's got us out of cap space hell. Thank you, Thomas Dimitrov, for that, putting us in cap space hell. But also thank you, Terry Fontenot, for getting us out of it. But Atlanta's just not going to be a market for star-studded players. I mean, I'm surprised we got Jesse Bates. But he's playing on a Ryan Nielsen defense who is top 15. So this is about the only game that the Falcons is really on defensively now. Kind of, lost us the game as well. Offense lost the game multiple times, especially this one. But the defense is kind of the first time they've let us lose this game. I'm just sitting here thinking, if I'm a Falcons fan, do I want to sit there in front of the TV for 4 hours and watch my team lose again? Which, I mean, of course, me, I support the Falcons. I really do. And I want them to win every single Sunday because it's my team. I die for them. But at the same time, you got to have some hard love and say, look, things are not working out. You got to change it now, or we got to just let you go at the end of the season. Talking about you, head coach Arthur Smith, if you are even listening to this. And I'm also thinking about Bijan Robertson. Like, why did we draft a running back? Tyler Algier is doing just fine. Why the hell did we need a running back now? I'm honestly second questioning our draft pick on that one. Because now I would understand us having a running back if we were, 9-0 right now. And the running game was tremendous. The passing game was tremendous. I would understand, okay, well, I see why we needed a running back. So we have more depth and, have more explosive plays, but we're 4-5. We can't set the edge on defense. And why the hell we need a running back? I'm thinking about that. I'm also thinking about Kyle Pitts. You're not utilizing your tight end formation like you did in Tennessee. You're not doing any of that, Smith. So what gives? We go into the Sunday right now to Glendale, Arizona to face the Arizona Cardinals. We are a -2 point favorite to win this game. I'm shocked we're favored to win this game. I really am. And the Arizona Cardinals are 1-8. Their only win is surprisingly the Dallas Cowboys. It's a 4:05 kickoff because it's West Coast time. It's on CBS, and I have a little conspiracy theory I'm going to mention up here in a minute. But yeah, Atlanta's a minus 2 point favorite. Did open up as a minus 2.5, but now it's dropped to 2. But the public is taking Arizona at a 78% public bet. Now this is at Monday, November 6th at 3:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time of me recording this. I know I'm recording a little early because I have a lot of stuff going on this week right here. But the money line, Atlanta is favored in the money line at 83% at a minus 130. And people currently right now are taking the over on the point spread of a 41.5 at an 86% public bet. Taylor Heineke was announced the official starter for the Week 10 action, and I believe this is the right choice. Not only because Taylor Heineke, he did suck this past week, but he did move the ball a little bit more better than what Desmond Ridder did, so I will give him credit on that. But the quarterback situation is not great here in Atlanta right now. And if it was great, but the play calling sucked, it's because it's Arthur Smith's problem. So Arthur Smith needs to change up his play calling or let his actual OC call the plays, and he just handles head coaching business. He has nothing else to do but manage the damn clock. So we'll go over total team stats, not individual stats right here. So this matchup, the Falcons offense versus the Arizona defense. So the Falcons offense is surprisingly 12th in the league right now. And the Arizona defense is 24th overall in the National Football League. Passing were 15th, against the pass they're 17th, 19th in rushing, and the Cardinals defense is 26th against the run. So we should have a great day running this game, or running the ball, and potentially passing, but it's near about an even out matchup right here. So I would say just rely on the run game. Don't get fancy. Just run the ball like you did last year. That won us a lot of games. And, make a pass or two here and there, but run the damn ball and make it cut outside. Stop running up the middle, especially on 3rd and 3, because our O-line, for some odd reason, has downgraded since last year. And you're running up the middle on 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, even 3rd and 5. And we're not completing that first down check mark. If you're going to run the ball, yes, run it up the middle on maybe your first down, maybe your second down, depends on how frisky you're going to be. But whenever it's that 3rd down, you cut outside. You cut outside to get that open man field. And then that's where you get your check downs. And then you continue on first down here, first down there, first down there. Then eventually you're in the red zone, hopefully touchdown. And that's something else we need to work on is touchdowns. It is crazy that this offense, we used to be a top tiered offense. And then now we suck on offense, and the defense is okay. I mean, we're still top 15. We're middle of the pack. But speaking of the defense, Falcons defense versus the Cardinals offense. So we are a 6 overall defense. So I'm still happy about that. We are 9th against the pass and 14th against the run game. So we could definitely get some interceptions, deflect the balls, etc. And we could stop that run game. Because the Arizona Cardinals are the 8th best run offense, but they are the dead last passing offense. So we could definitely take advantage of some interceptions right there, ladies and gentlemen. And that's what the Falcons definitely need to focus on. So defense, I'm not particularly too worried about it right now. But it's just this offense. Offense needs to click this Sunday. To go 5-5 to get us back in a win column and a winning record going into the bye week. And I believe this is perfect timing right here. You got a 500, point differential in your division. You're second place. You hope the Saints lose this Sunday. which the Saints, they are facing the Vikings as well this Sunday. And they actually got a bye week coming up after that as well. So they get a perfect bye week as well as we do. So we're coming back fresh. Both teams are coming back fresh. But the Saints do face off against the Vikings in Minnesota. So Minnesota will have that home field advantage. But it just depends on what the Saints do. So they got to lose. We got to win to get back, I believe, in first place in our division. Then after that, we got the Saints. And hopefully we come back against the Saints with a better mindset, better mentality, better just overall kind of like play calling offensively. And defense needs to step things up, get some edge work in, kind of get those interceptions in at practice, and just go hard at it. You know, because we're still not a team that can sack the quarterback. And that just needs to be improved on, especially going up against the Saints team. So, guys, I'm picking the Atlanta Falcons this Sunday to win against the Arizona Cardinals. I am, but it's going to be a Younghoe Koo field goal. As always, I really hate to say that, but that's just how it's going to be is for the rest of the season until Arthur Smith really changes his playbook or hands it off to the actual offensive coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons, who I believe came from the Bears. So until then, I mean, it's going to be Younghoe Koo field goals to win us the game. And we can't just always rely on Younghoe Koo to do it, which, I mean, he's cooing it right now. So glad to see it. But at the same time, you don't want to see Younghoe Koo all the time out on the field unless it's for, you know, just an extra point attempt, not a field goal. So Falcons fans, let me know on Twitter at MMS Stacy Morgan. I really want to know what you are thinking right now for the current state of this Atlanta Falcons team. Are you still supporting them? Is there 1 foot in, 1 foot out for Arthur Smith? Do you have hope? What's the case? Me personally, I think we're into kind of the situation where the seat is hot, but it's just like kind of like lukewarm right now. Not just, I mean, you can feel there's heat, but it's just not just scorching heat right now. But it will definitely crank up if we lose against the Cardinals this Sunday, but it will kind of cool off. I mean, you still have a little bit of heat, even if we win, but it'll cool off just a little bit. But then that bye week comes in. If we special lose to the Saints, that son of a gun is heating back up big time, because why would you want to lose to your division rivals? You just can't. You just cannot lose to your division rivals. So, anyways, guys, I sure hope you did enjoy it. If you did, make sure to like button wherever you are listening from. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Podcasts, GoodPod HQ. Leave a 5-star on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. It sure does help out the podcast and giving you content each and every single Friday to listen to throughout the week and the weekend. But until then, I, Cole Morgan, will catch you all later. Peace.
Thank you for listening to this Belly Up Sports Podcast Network product. Some said we go belly up, so we made it our name, and we're still here.